Hey guys, welcome back to my IO series, and in this video we're going to talk about presentation. Yes, don't run away. Come back and let's talk about it. So you can't escape presenting, whether it be in undergrad or grad school or even in real life. You're going to need to get some level of comfort with it. And in this video I want to share some tips and tricks, things that you can do that could really help you boost your confidence to get that message across in a way that is going to make you look like you know what you're talking about. I know, some of us hate it, some of us love it. We probably had to do it in undergrad, and it's going to be no different in grad school. Here's the thing, you never know. You may need to present in the future at work, or maybe you want to submit your research and present at a conference. We are living in a very weird time right now where classes may be virtual. We may not have as much face-to-face interaction as we were doing before, but these tips and tricks will definitely help you out even in those situations. If you have any questions, you could always leave a comment down below or slide into the DMs. I will respond back as soon as I can. For now, let's jump into these presentation tips. So I know that presenting isn't going to be exactly new to us. We've probably taken a communication class or a speech class and have had a lot of experience with it in undergrad. But I have a question. How many times did you really take that opportunity serious? I can say firsthand that I did not take it as serious as I should have. Some of us don't have the opportunity to present outside of school. Some of us don't work, and some of us may not have any other things that we are involved with. Even if you do work, you don't always have an opportunity to present. Sometimes you're selected for something randomly here and there. Maybe you just don't have that opportunity, period. Of course you want to match your audience. There's no reason to come in with like your fancy outfits on, but there's something about looking clean and well put together that gives you a level of confidence. It's like the famous saying, dress to impress. Looking polished not only gives you confidence, but will help you look a lot more solidified and will make you come off a lot more serious. See, I've had those days where I'm just running late, and try to cut that out as much as you can, at least on those days when you know you have to get in front of the classroom. When we're presenting with a PowerPoint or a keynote or anything like that, we're usually shifting our attention or the audience's attention back to the screen. And one way that you can be sure to do that is by wearing colors that are neutral. Blacks, blues, dark grays, colors that are very neutral to the eye will help balance that attention between yourself and the PowerPoint, versus if you were to come in wearing something that's super flashy or super bright. If you don't really want all eyes on you, definitely kind of keep that into consideration, how you can maybe mute yourself with colors that aren't as in your face, and you're going to notice that the attention will shift back and forth. Just knowing that helps put me at ease, because it is nerve-wracking being up there and having all of a sudden these 20 eyeballs staring at you. You could do what I do and just keep it classic, wear black. You always look very well put together and you just can't go wrong. I would really move towards trying to use an agenda in the beginning of your presentations. It helps your audience know what's coming up next, and it really helps create a story versus putting them in blind, not knowing where you're taking them. I think it's a really nice way to kind of guide them through what you're going to discuss. This one's kind of a no-brainer, but if you're going to be giving a presentation, try to get there a little bit earlier just to make sure that everything works. Technology can be troublesome at times. I would even suggest trying to make sure that everything works one day before. I've had instances where the USB just did not want to read, so I always try to have some form of a backup that is online, whether it be through Google Slides or Microsoft Office. I always like to keep a backup just in case. Some of the things that I've always done to kind of perfect my speech or to perfect my presentation was to practice in front of a mirror or to record myself. Recording yourself could be a little bit bizarre, but it really does help kind of see how your message is coming across, reflect back to see how you did, and critique yourself. It does take some time to kind of obviously record and then go back and see, but in the long run you're gonna look really good when you're on stage or in front of the classroom. When presenting with a group, make sure that when you're up there that it appears that you guys worked on this as a group. Using words such as we or us can really help that message come across. Another way to make it seem cohesive is by transitioning over onto the next person and stating that person's name. People just present and then it's a group project, one person's done, and then the other person's kind of just like lost, and then they just jump in. So the way that I would do this would be something like this. We're gonna go ahead and listen to Jane now talk about corporate social responsibility. Do you see what a difference it makes? This is something that I started to do in my classes, and I noticed that other people started to do it as well. It really does help just kind of bring that message that you guys all worked on this together. Smile and have fun with it. Most presentations have an end screen, and one of the things that people tend to do is act surprised when they see it. So don't do that. Don't act surprised. Make sure you know what's coming up next and when the presentation is going to be over. I know some people like to do this by putting in a thank you slide or maybe like a question slide. Those are two things that are very popular. Another way to be a little bit more inviting is by talking with your hands up and keeping your fingers together. Doing this, welcoming people into what you have to say, also keeping your fingers together will help you remain more centered. I also recommend to buy a clicker. It's going to make you look a lot more polished in front of the classroom versus running back and hitting space or having somebody in your audience hitting space. It's always kind of awkward when somebody clicks that button to the next slide and you're not done talking. So to avoid that, use a clicker, know how many times you have to click, know your slides so that way you're not going back too fast and you're just on time bringing up your points. There's also this really cool TED Talk that I recommend you check out. It's called How to Avoid Death by PowerPoint by David J. Phillips. Over on that video, he really discusses formatting and gives you tips on how to focus your visual aid to carry along your message. I honestly wish more people watched that video, especially in like work settings. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a screen just with too much information in it. It's too much. It's information overload. It doesn't look good and it's just too much for the eyes. Go for something simple and clean, but check out that video so you can see what I'm talking about. Whew, and I think that's a wrap. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Again, I know we're in like a weird situation right now with everything, but get ahead of the game, use this on your next presentation. Tiniest things can really go a long way. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Of course, I'm here to help you no matter what, and I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. Until the next one, see you guys.